Also, a little side note, I am sick, so I might sound a little weird. But anyways, let's get on to the video. Hope you guys enjoy. Bye, my baby birds. Hello, welcome my little baby birds. So today I am going to be reading A Killer's Baby. This is my first video on my account, my second account. I hope you guys enjoy, and if you guys want to read it, it is on Wattpad. It is, again, called A Killer's Baby. If you would like to go read it, you can. So, let's start off. Oh, but also another thing. I'm going to use my OC's name for the female. I hope that's okay with you guys. So, yeah. Kitty's POV. It was early in the morning and I didn't feel like getting out of here. Instead, I was on my phone deciding if I should call my mom or not. You see, I never really had a very good relationship with my mother since she was always working, but she would try to hang out with me. But now that I moved out, she just ignores me. Nah, I throw my phone to the opposite bed, then get up. I should have probably get ready for work. I walked to the restroom and I began taking off my clothes to get into the shower. About an hour and a half later, I got out, wrapped a towel around me, and let go of my clothes, and then grabbed my black hoodie, then some ripped jeans and my shoes. After getting dressed, I go to the kitchen and grab my keys and walk outside and lock the door. I noticed police officers outside the apartment 3 doors down from mine. I shrugged my shoulders, then I realized I'm about to put my keys in my bag, but I realized I left it in my apartment. I left my bag. I hurry and unlock the door, then run upstairs, but stop when I hear someone in my room. Who's there? I slowly walk to my room to see a man standing there. He was wearing a white hoodie covered in blood and black jeans. He had a huge cut smile and long black hair. His eyelids looked like they'd been burnt off, and it scared me. My body froze in place. Then I started to back up a little bit slowly till he saw me. We made eye contact, then I froze up once again. I was afraid of what he was gonna do to me. I want my body to hurry and run, but I couldn't move an inch. Oh, hello, who do we have here? He spoke as he started walking over to me. That's when my body decided to finally move and start running. Help! I was suddenly grabbed and pinned to the floor with a rough hand over my mouth and a cold blade on my neck. Say another word and you're dead. Got it, dollface? I just nodded my head. He let go of me, then forces me up to my feet. Name's Jeff the killer. And you? He asked, staring at me. Katie, I answered, obviously scared. Katie, you tell anyone I was here and I'll kill you and that person. Understand, dollface? I nodded again, and with that he left. Then I fall to my knees and pants, then pass out from all that just happened. That was the end of part 1. Since it was short, we're gonna go to part 2. Hold on. Katie's POV. Over 5 weeks have passed since I've seen that strange man, also known as Jeff the Killer, and I almost completely forgot about him until today. I was just going to work from my college classes. It was really late. I didn't realize what time it was in my class. Oddly long. My class was oddly long today, especially since my teacher was in here today or yesterday. Wasn't here yet today or yesterday. If you were wondering, I'm studying to be a psychologist. I know it's strange, but I always wanted to help people with mental disorders since my father had a mental disorder. The wording on this is terrible. That's why I'm struggling so hard, okay? Since my father had a mental disorder, he completely went insane because of it and committed suicide 3 years later. As I walk to work, I had my headphones in. Then suddenly I felt like someone was watching me and started to walk faster, but trying to look normal, like I wasn't noticing, until I accidentally bumped into somebody. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see anybody in front of me. I should have watched where I was going. I'm sorry, I said hesitantly until I looked up and saw him. The same man from 5 weeks ago, Jeff the Killer. Oh, it's quite alright, Katie, he said with a quite chilling voice, sending chills up my spine. At first, I thought it was an illusion. Then I backed up a little bit. He looked exactly the same as before with that creepy cut smile. I started looking up at him. It was kind of strange. He was so tall. He made me feel kind of weak as I stared into his cold, dead eyes. And then suddenly my phone rang, which made me jump. I hurried and grabbed my phone and realized it was my boss calling me. I looked at the time and realized I was an hour late, and before Jeff could say anything to me, I ran to work. When I got there, my boss looked furious. This is the 7th time this week, he yelled. I'm sorry, my classes have been really long this month. I'm so sorry, I explained, as people in the cafe looked at us, whispering about a man was yelling at a woman. Then he rubs the sides of his head. This is your final chance, Katie. If you were late one more time, it's best if you don't come to work. Final warning. He glared at me, and I just nodded my head, walking to the kitchen. At work, I was in charge of making the cakes, and sometimes the cookies, and even working the cashier if I needed to fill in for somebody. My best friend, Mana, I don't know how to pronounce her name, so we're gonna call her Mana, worked there with me, but today was her day off, which made me kind of upset because she is always there to stand up for me. The whole day I was at work, all I could think about was that man. I kept zoning out to the point where one of my coworkers had to pinch me. At some point, I almost burned the cookies. When it was finally time to go, I changed out of my work clothes, and that's me moving on, don't worry. I would change out of my work clothes and back into my other clothes, then grabbed my bag and walked out of the cafe. It was almost 12 o'clock, and the cafe closes at 10:30. But there were some stuff to do at the closing. I first had to clean and then pick up some stuff, then change. As I walked by the cafe and past an alleyway, I saw a kitten meowing in pain. Then I hurried over to it and picked it up. I saw that its leg was bleeding, that I ran holding it in my hoodie closely. When I got home, I hurried and cleaned it and gently wrapped its leg in bandages. There you go, little kitty. Let's get you some milk. I smiled, and as I was about to walk in the kitchen, I saw him again. He covered my mouth. Shh, or I'll have to put you to sleep, he said threatening me, and I noticed, and I nodded. Then he let go of me and sat me on the couch. I just stared at him. Then went to the kitchen and grabbed the jug of milk and poured some in a small bowl. I sat it in front of the kitten right beside the bowl, and it started drinking the milk. Jeff suddenly got up and walked over, seeing the kitten, starting to pet it. What an ugly thing. Dogs are better, he said. No, cats are a lot better. He looked at me. Dogs, cats. We stare at each other. Dogs, cats, dogs, cats, dogs, cats. Dogs, cats. This went on for about 10 minutes or so, until we finally agreed to disagree. Despite how he looked, he was actually kind of nice, except for the threatening to kill me sometimes. I made me something to eat, and then I put it on the couch and turned on a movie, and he just kind of sat next to me watching the movie, and in the middle of the movie I fell asleep without realizing it on his shoulder.